It took us a while to get going, but once we broke ground and we started making one sale, then two sales, things just really started to pick up for us.
Jason would be upstairs boxing the products, and I'd be running to the drugstore and mailing off his boxes to these various little companies. And then there'd be more, and then there was more, and next thing you know, I couldn't even handle taking it all at once.
We had Canada Post trucks coming at all hours. We had neighbors who were getting pissed off.
We had nowhere to store all this stuff. We had the boxes from floor to ceiling. We had the garage full. They were everywhere, even in the laundry room. Frank was pissed off.
That's me and my dad, Frank. Frank was my hero growing up. He was a real hustler and a big shot booking agent, booking acts like Led Zeppelin, The Supremes, AC/DC, and Aerosmith, to name a few. Let's just say if you have a problem, Frank could take care of it for you. But with that came a price. And if you knew my dad, you knew nothing in life was free.
Frank was a hard worker, and I think that Jason learned from his dad's work ethic.
Double sales.
You can hear Jason doing a deal on the phone from, honestly, probably Mars, because he is yelling, he's so enthusiastic. You know, whoever's on the other end of that phone is convinced. Like, whatever Jason is saying, like, they're buying, they eat it up.
One of the things about me and Rodney that people underestimated is we are relentless.
At one point, things just changed.
The way that you guys did your branding and your marketing with the athletes and the signings, that really made a mark for me.
When Batista came on with Nutrabolics, things immediately changed. We went from being the little guys to the big guys. Our booth went from being at the back of the expo to now the front. It was amazing how much attention we got.
Batista! Yeah, Batista!
Our booth was packed.
Signing Dave Batista to Nutrabolics was 100% the game changer. That was the frickin' mic drop. The brand erupted. We could barely keep up. It was insane.
The single best appearance I've ever experienced was the Dave Batista one. They shut down 2 city blocks and had police everywhere, and it was just crowds and crowds of people. I think they clocked it at 20,000 people were standing there, just waiting to see him. And when he arrived, it was just mayhem. Never a dull moment at the Nutrabolics booth, I remember that. Whether you had UFC fighters or wrestlers or the models, of course.
How you doing? This is Jason Wyner with Nutrabolics. I'm going to introduce you to some of our lovely ladies here at the booth. We got, say your name.
I'm Ashley.
Ashley. We got Brandy Latimer. Jenny Bouchon. Allison Lindsay. All straight from Canada.
Canadian girls?
Canadian girls, baby. That's how we do it. That's how we do it in Canada.
The energy was always super high for the Nutrabolic events. It was easy to find where I was supposed to be at. I just looked for the largest line, and that was usually the Nutrabolics booth.
I like when you guys are posting pictures of traveling around the world dressed to the nine, looking good and everything like that. That to me is kind of cool, because I like success. I like being around successful people.
You've flown around the world, you've flown to Germany, you've flown to Russia. Just give us some insight on that.
I think hands down by far the craziest event that I've ever been into was Moscow. For the Moscow Pro Show, we brought Khabib Nurmagomedov. I remember bringing him to this event, and right when we entered the event, before Khabib was even there was just a huge crowd of people just chanting for Khabib.
Khabib! Khabib!
Our booth basically took over the show. I've never seen anything like it. They actually had to hire Russian police. There were about 6 police guys at all times around our booth. And in Russia, they don't mess around. I mean, they had these huge, big-ass guns, and they were just standing there, you know, at our booth, making sure nothing happened. And I remember walking with Khabib to the booth, and people were literally just jumping on us, crying, trying to grab him. And he was stone cold, didn't matter, he loved his fans, like he shook everybody's hands. It was unreal. It was an event of all events. So I think we were one of the first brands to get into the UFC. We started it by sponsoring probably the greatest fighter of all time, Anderson Silva, who became a Nutrabolics athlete. He wore our gear into the cage, but we also had some set appearances. And we did a ton of pre-promotion, we did a ton of hype. This was the first time Anderson Silva was ever coming into Canada. I remember being at the office and I got a call from Anderson's manager. He said, "Sorry, Anderson can't make it." People are lined up already for this appearance. It's starting at 10. I've got no Anderson. I've got Kenny Florian. Everybody's expecting Anderson.
I didn't know what we were going to do. I thought this was bankruptcy for us.
Jay, answer your phone. Jay, are you okay? I haven't heard from you all week.
I was really worried about it.
I was on the way to the hospital and I thought I was having a heart attack.